Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews, and we are back again with another review. This is the review for Cobra Kai Season 3. As you guys know, I was talking about it on my New Year's video I had right now, so I just wanted to say, for the people that didn't see that video, I can't believe we're in 2021. I hope everybody has a great year this year. Big things coming to the channel. But I just really want to get into just talking about this season. This season was literally a perfect bow. Like with season 1, how it was like crisscrossed, and then season 2, or actually, I had the bow for season 1, then it crisscrossed for season 2, and then season 3, put it all together. This season blew away my expectations, literally. I saw so many things in this season that I had speculations, but a lot of them were sort of right. I'm just happy that the season finally came out. Everything just blew it all the way. The action scenes were awesome. The soundtrack this year was phenomenal for the show. It just keeps getting better and better. And you think it wouldn't get crazier after the big school fight where it left off in season 2, but it just blows me away with what action and what storylines that they could take from that on, because this all takes place at the beginning of the season where it's after the school fight, and there's rules put in place in the school for you're not allowed to fight in school, and there's certain guidelines now where it's the one principal put this I guess hug not fight or something. It's called something like that, you talk about what's wrong or you hug it out or something like that. I just thought that was so funny. And they had little moments that reminded me of moments from the first Karate Kid, where there was moments where Danny ran into Johnny and his friends, and he got the cheater, and then they were trying to act oh, we're all buddies here and stuff like that. So there was a lot of homages of scenes like that between Hawk and Dimitri and the other two, and I guess one was called Ass Face and Dickhead or something like that. The two guys that were best friends, but then one went to Miyagi-Do, one went to Cobra Kai. So they had that little moment where they're all oh, and then they just all oh, we're all good friends here and stuff like that. But literally, I love the element of how they couldn't fight in school, but they were trying to find ways to fight in school. So there was a scene where it was Cobra Kai team versus the Miyagi-Do team in school, and they were fighting each other through soccer. They would do the sweep move for the leg just to blend in, or they were trying to get the soccer ball, but they're really trying to sweep each other's legs, and moments where they did a bicycle kick, but they hit someone in the face. I love that creativeness that they had because they wanted to fight, so they found loopholes to try not to get in trouble. I just love that element. It was so different, so fresh, and just there's a lot of twists and turns I don't see coming here. I knew that from the beginning we would see Chosen, and we would see Kimiko, and I knew we would see Allie this season. There was speculations. I didn't know for sure, but I knew we were probably going to see her in this season, which we did. Down the line we saw her, which that was a cool episode. That was the one before the last episode, or it was that episode, but it was so cool seeing her come back and see Chosen come back and seeing Kimiko. And just the episode when they're in Oakland, where Daniel goes to, first things first, he goes to Japan because his car dealership business is pretty much about to go bankrupt because no one wants to show up and do business with somebody that was involved in the big school fight, because Daniel had Miyagi-Do, but people fought in school, and people were oh, we don't want to do business with with somebody that surrounds himself with violence and stuff like that. So he was doing deals in Japan trying to fix everything because he was about to go out of business with all these other people that were in his business. So then he decides to, it didn't work out, me trying to fix my business in Japan, one of my local business partners at, of my chains of car dealerships. So he goes there, it doesn't work out. Then he goes to Okinawa, and then we run into Kimiko. She's right where she left off, pretty much. She wanted to be a ballerina dancer, which, it succeeded in Japan. So there was a moment where in Okinawa where he's Daniel shows up, and they're literally, that small town isn't the same anymore. It's pretty much a mall. It's a Gap. It's a Gap. It's an outdoor mall, which I thought was funny. He's I thought, where's all the small town? Where's everything? But Kimiko is right where she's doing the same dance she was doing with the kids in Karate Kid 2, which I found awesome. It was such a great homage to that. And, just the moments with Chosen, where Daniel, sees Chosen again, and you think that Chosen is holding a grudge, but there's that, it just, and apparently he's like, you think Mr. Miyagi taught you everything, but he didn't teach you everything. And we find more moves that show off later in the episode of later in the season. We find out when he's going to use those moves, and and he uses them for the right reasons. And there's always, we found more of a backstory out about, like, there's fighting that Mr. Miyagi didn't teach Daniel-san, like with there's different ways of defense, like to take away their fighting entirely, to to defend yourself, so you're taking away their strength, so you won't have to do anything, and like you're making them. It was like a thing that they did, like, I guess that his ancestors learned of with fighting and stuff like that in the war, that there was certain moves that you could do to make the fighting just minimal, just not happen really at all. The way to like totally like just put them out of using their fighting in general. So we learned that through Chosen, and Chosen lets him take that scroll that has all the information. He takes it back, and there's just a lot of stuff going on, even with the characters. We see Miguel. He goes through an awesome journey of him trying to walk again, and there's a surgery that like says that there's a chance he could walk. He does the surgery, but nothing's really happening, and we just see that awesome. But like the bond that he has with Johnny build back up again. It's even stronger foundation of he is that dad figure to Miguel, even though Miguel doesn't have a father, and it's beautiful to see that all play out, and to see how it's like to flip the script. It's like Johnny is like a version of Mr. Miyagi to how Miguel is like a version of Daniel, which I love how that is, and we see more of the relationships start to collide back together with Miguel and Sam, and we see more of stuff with Tori, Miguel, and Sam, especially Tori and Sam. Their rivalry just can't stop. Like Tori just can't let that go of what she kissed Miguel and just all that stuff. She just can't let that go. And we see more with Robbie on the run, and he just feels like everybody betrayed him, and just feels like that no one just has his best interest and stuff like that. So the fact of it is that seeing him eventually, he goes into juvie. He's getting his ass beat. He's not the top dog, whereas karate is like enough to, he pretty much was knocked down a couple of pegs, now, because even though karate, there's still a big bad, and that's in the real world. As Kreese said, you think you knew your place out there, but in all seriousness, you didn't. That's the real world in juvie, how it really plays out. Your self-defense, it's not going to last forever, You need to start striking first, and we see how he thinks everybody's like betrayed him with Sam, Danny and Johnny, and he goes to the path of eventually going with Kreese, which it was such a hard moment to see. Like, dude, you really are gonna go with somebody you literally hated, and he's just trying to manipulate you to get back at Johnny and to get back to Daniel because they both cared about you. And just seeing all that element, and just seeing how he can't get over them betraying him, or so-called betraying him. And like with Sam taking Miguel over him and stuff like it's like I'm wondering how that's all gonna play out in the next season, because there's just so much hatred there between Tori to Sam to Robbie to Miguel, and Miguel I feel like doesn't have that same hate for him. He just wants him to understand, just to calm down and understand where it's all coming from. But I just can't wait to see how this all play out in the next season. But just there's so many things building up here that I was just so shocked to see, and it was so interesting this season. Hands down, this has to be the best season of Cobra Kai I have ever encountered. Just literally. And Dimitri is a beast. I'm just so happy that Dimitri, from that one kick, he got so much cred from the last kick that he did to Hawk in the last episode of season 2. That one kick got him so much cred with so many girls, but he doesn't take that to his head, turning into a jerk. That's what I love about Dimitri. I didn't really like him that much in the first season because I thought there was a lot of moments where he was egging on Hawk when I felt like he shouldn't have done that. He should have just, there was ways to do something without egging him on, like literally wanting him to beat you up when you don't have that much experience with karate. But, even after that kick, he's still trying to, he's like, he has enough to not be pushed around by Hawk, but also not wanting to bully people. But he just wants to self-defense himself and let Hawk know that he's not taking that crap anymore. That one kick, he is a person that is going to stick up for himself anymore. He's not just going to be a mat for, Hawk to step on, which you really see that throughout this season, where he'll just, if he knows his friends need help, Dimitri, he will help and fight off that problem. And you just see him grow so much from that scrawny person that ran away from his problems, that kept egging people on, to a person that really, is, standing up for people and willing to fight for himself, you know, to defend himself. And we just see a lot more, just a lot more between all these characters. I really enjoyed it. And we saw a lot more with Johnny and Miguel's mom. We see that relationship build, how she just didn't want nothing to do with him, to, you know, she wants everything to do with him. She's really happy that, you know, Johnny helped Miguel walk again when the doctor said it's not going to happen. And, you know, she was pretty much given all hope, and she said she just wanted to see Miguel smile again, which we get that great episode where they go to this rock concert, and, you know, he starts tapping his foot for the first time, knowing that, you know, he can walk. That surgery did essentially work, but it wouldn't have worked without Johnny's father figure-ness of him always telling him he'll be there, always be his sensei, and just that strong bond is what makes Miguel want to be, it makes him want to be stronger, it makes him want to be, you know, a better person. And you really see how, you know, where Miguel was in season 1, how he just was letting people beat him up and all that stuff, to becoming into this awesome person where he is sticking up for himself, but he's not becoming a bully. And I just love that about his character. He just doesn't want to be that bully. And even after him, you know, not, you know, breaking Robbie's arm in the last season, he even said to himself, you know, he's like, you know, I thought, you know, this wouldn't happen to me if I didn't hurt his arm. You know, he pretty much has a great scene with Johnny where he cries saying, you know, you did this to me. You know, I thought you were teaching me the right things. I thought you wouldn't lay me astray, and you did. I got hurt. I can't walk. Look at me. But even then, he still needs Johnny, even if he's angry. And I love seeing that element, and it's a great element. I think when they have the screen together, it's the best acting I've ever seen between father figure and between an awesome student/son in a way. I just love seeing that all play out. I'd say it's the best seeing them both together. Their acting just bounces off one another, and they're just phenomenal. Everybody in this show is phenomenal. Their acting is top notch. You know, I knew Paintless from Jesse and all that. I knew Jacob that plays Hawk. I knew him from a show on Disney XD. So I know their acting skills, but they've just really hit top peak. They went above and beyond. They've just shown me so much, their characters. And when we see a lot of Hawk, you know, I feel like he's seeing more now of doing this stuff isn't badass. Seeing, you know, how he thought when Kreese took over, you know, Johnny was soft, but he's seeing that Johnny had reasons why he was telling them to do certain things and to be better, and to not strike first, and to not do all these things. He was teaching him this stuff, but he just thought Johnny was turning soft. And since Kreese came in, he's like, I'm doing bad things. You know, things are going out of hand. Like, I'm finally seeing that people, because like Kreese was kicking people out of the dojo just because they weren't doing these bad things. So I feel like he started to notice, okay, you know, this guy is crazy. He's turning us into monsters, and he finally got to realize it. In the last, I think the one before the last episode, he finally got to realize they all break into, it's Christmas time, and they all break into Daniel's house, and Sam is there with her Miyagi-Do friends, and Miguel comes over with his new group. He made the new dojo with Johnny. It can't be called Cobra Kai anymore, so it's called the Fang Hawks, or Hawk Fangs. And the people that got kicked out of out of Cobra Kai, out of Kreese's Cobra Kai, went to Johnny's Fang Hawks, or Hawk Fangs. So they go over to Daniel's house, and you know, Sam is there with, you know, the Miyagi-Dos, and they're there. Miguel's there with his Hawk Fangs. And Sam and Miguel are like, we both need to work together. The Cobra Kai's become too insane, too out of hand. We got to come together if we're going to beat them at all. And if we're like, it's time to stand together. And the next thing you know, when they're all like, oh, I don't know if we can, like, they're all fighting back and forth, because of course they have that drama where people that were at Cobra Kai now go to the Hawk Fangs, and they still hate the Miyagi-Dos, and there's still a lot of, you know, backlash that's going on in, you know, Sam's house. You know, they're not getting along, and Dimitri's like, yo, we got to stand together now, because if we don't stand together, the bullying is gonna get worse and worse. People are getting hurt, because literally Kreese's Cobra Kai got so much worse from what we knew in the past. Like, literally, one of the members of Miyagi-Do got thrown through a window and was all wrecked, bloody, wrecked. And then there was a scene where Hawk and Cobra Kai Hawk and his goons, technically, literally wrecked the one kid with the glasses from Miyagi-Do. Just kicked the crap out of him to get the money that they were raising for Miguel at a car wash. and they wanted to take credit saying they raised the money. So literally this season does not hold back on the grittiness and on the just the pure hatred that they have for Miyagi-Do. Literally they have so much hate, and I feel like Hawk knows in his heart that he needs to know that he's being brainwashed, because Miguel's even told him, dude, I'm not coming back to Cobra Kai, bro. That guy's messing with your mind. He's brainwashing you. And I feel like he's realizing it. And then the big fight happens in Sam's house, where they all, Cobra Kai and Tori all come in, and they all just start wrecking, like they all just start fighting Miyagi-Do in the house. And even before that, you can, like, Sam is, like, so afraid this season. You can really tell she's so traumatized from what happened with Miguel getting hurt, with her getting almost dying from Tori, like, kicking the crap out of her at that one point where she got her arm with her bracelet and she was about to, like, literally beat the crap out of her. And on top of, Robbie leaving, like, she is so damaged, and we see that, and she's so afraid that, if she comes across Tori again, she's just going to freeze up again and lose, because she keeps freezing up because she's so traumatized. When she first goes back to school, the steps, she just can't take it, so she leaves. So there's a moment where one of the Miyagi-Do students, I think his name is Chris, is working at this arcade, and there's like this game where it's like arcade, it's sort of like our fun house game where you have to, like, hit down cans and you get a prize. It's like one of those arcades, and Cobra Kai comes there and starts taking his prizes across from the counter, starts running around. Then he calls up Sam. The whole entire group of Miyagi-Dos come to stop Cobra Kai. They're over in the laser tag room. They turn off the lights. Then Sam and all of them start beating the crap out of them because they're getting their ass kicked in school, and Cobra Kai's not getting in trouble for starting stuff with her group of Miyagi-Dos. So they start fighting. Then Tori comes in. She just starts freezing, and then right when she starts freezing and hiding, everybody starts getting their ass kicked by Cobra Kai since Tori walks in the building. It's totally flipped. Miyagi-Do was kicking the crap out of them, and so was Sam. She was kicking ass. But right when Tori walked in, everything started going to crap. Everybody was getting their butt beat and stuff. And there was a moment where they got Dimitri on the ground, and it looks like they're about to do the same move Miguel was going to do to Robbie in season 2 in the finale. So, everybody's like, do it, Hawk, and Hawk just snaps his arm. You can tell he doesn't want to do it, but he just wants people to know that he's being soft, and, he's not, he's not striking first, strike hard, no mercy. He's not doing no mercy. So he does it, and I just felt bad that Dimitri had to go through that, and Sam was in the corner. She felt like she couldn't help. That was such a hard scene to watch. I personally was shaking. I'm like, go, Sam, go, help, stop. Stop from Dimitri getting hurt. I wanted to jump in there and help the dude. Like, this show made me want to get in the screen and help fight. I just, literally, and I loved Cobra Kai in season 1 and season 2. I was rooting for Johnny's Cobra Kai, but right when Kreese took over, I knew everything went to shit. Because I knew the backstory of, the Karate Kids. I was like, oh, great, this is going to go for the worst. So, after that, all that big fight happened. Well, the fight's still going on. In the finale, let's go back to me talking about the fight going on in the finale. And there was a moment where they're all getting the crap beat out of, and Miguel, he's able to walk now, but his kicking is not as hard as it was, and he's not able to do kicks as he used to because he's not used to you doing all those leg movements anymore. So you could just tell there's a scene where he's practicing with his Hawk Fang dojo, and he just can't kick anything. Like, he's having trouble. So there's a scene where Kyler is back, and he gets recruited by Kreese. And right away, even Hawk knows that right when Kyler comes back, that this is not the Cobra Kai he wants to be a part of. People are getting replaced. People are getting kicked out. So as we fast forward, he sees Miguel, and he's like, okay, now it's time for payback, Rhea, because they all broke into Sam's house, and Miguel and his Hawk Fangs are there. Sam and her Miyagi-Do friends are there. So there's an all big out brawl, and literally everybody's getting their butt kicked. And Miguel just can't take Kyler. He just can't do it because he can't kick. He can do punching, but it's not strong because he has been out of practice for, I think, a month or 2 months or something like that, or weeks on end. Like, he needs to get back on that grind, which we will see in the next season, but he just couldn't take him. So there's a scene where he's getting the crap beat out of him. I mean, the crap beat out of him. But, like, before we get to that, like, he's just getting his crap beat out of him. And then there's a moment where everybody's getting the crap beat out of him. Hawk's looking around like, oh my God, what have I done? Who have I become? From what I was wanting just to defend myself, I've turned into this monster. and he just sees Dimitri about to get his arm broken again. And his friends are like, yo, come over here, get a lick at this, Hawk, come over here. And Hawk runs over and kicks the crap out of his Cobra Kai teammates. And it's the best scene ever. I jumped, I was like, let's go, you realize you were wrong, bro, let's get it. And he helps Dimitri kick the shit out of the Cobra Kais, bro. It's the funniest thing. Their teamwork is so awesome. Seeing how they how they were that their dynamic duo, like they're like or whatever. Like he said we are Dimitri in the season 1 was like, we are binary brothers. So they're binary brothers. They kicked ass. They were back as the binary brothers, bro. It was so sick. And then once he sees, Miguel sees he's getting his crappy beaten out of him against the wall by Kyler. He's just getting wrecked. He sees everybody working together. You know, he's seeing the Hawk Fangs and the Miyagi just working together, teaming up, seeing how Hawk and Dimitri are working together, and he feels like, okay, everybody's working together. I feel this. I hear my sensei saying, let's go, pull through, because we see that moment. That's how he wakes up. Miguel, he hears Johnny saying, you could do this. If anybody can do this, it can be you. You're so strong. Let's get out of that coma. Let's go. And that's what gets him out of the coma. So seeing how he's able to kick again, because he hears all this going through his head and seeing everybody working together, he kicks the shit out of Kyler, which I was like, let's go. I was like, you're getting your kicks back. Come on, let's get it. I was like, finally, because I hate Kyler. I hated how he was the one beating Miguel's ass. I'm like, that's not fair, how this bully gets to come back, such a jerk that made everybody turn into how they were, getting to kick Miguel's butt. So I was like, Miguel, kick his ass. And it was like a moment where how Iron Man says to Cap when he like scans his like his fighting style and says, let's kick his ass. I wasn't happy about that because, again, that's a whole different story. I don't like Iron Man in that in like Civil War at all. I'm a big fan of Cap, but I just thought it was like one of those moments like, okay, let's kick his ass, and he did this cool flip and punched him. So I can't wait to see what other ass kicking he's gonna do to Kyler in the next season of Cobra Kai, which there's just a lot of setting up, because we're going to see more of Kyler fighting Miguel in the next season. We're going to see more of Sam fighting Tori in the next season. And there's just a big moment where at the end of all this, we see how they're all working together. They're all back together, but Daniel and his wife and Johnny and Allie with an eye are all at this big Christmas event, and they're all Daniel and Amanda are leaving. They're going home, and Johnny's saying bye to Allie, and he needed to hear what he needed to hear so he could move on and he could be the best person he could be, as Allie believed he could. So he goes home. He wants to tell Beth, what's Miguel's mom's name? I forget. Okay, but he wants to tell Miguel's mom that he loves her. He goes there. She opens the door, and he's like, what's wrong? And we just see Miguel just beaten. He's just beat, because I'm telling you, he was getting the crap kicked out of him by Kyler, because he couldn't have those strong kicks, because he was just out of, I mean, I feel bad. I just wish he had that training, and then they came in and just kicked the crap out of Kyler. But it needed to be that moment where he needed to believe in himself. He needed to believe he could kick hard and fight. So he just decided when he was working together, he's like, now it's my turn to pull my own weight, and just kicks the crap out of Kyler, which I was happy to see. But I was just so hard to watch that happen to Miguel. He's my favorite character. He has such a great heart, and we see that. So then, after that, he says, you can see Johnny saying, Carmen? Okay, so it's Carmen. Miguel's mom's name is Carmen. So he just says to Carmen and Miguel, where is he, or who did this? So then we cut, and then we see Johnny literally storming in to Cobra Kai's dojo and literally beating the crap. Well, he storms in, goes to the back door, sees how Kreese is working. Well, now Kreese is now training Robbie, because of all Robbie thinks no one cares about him, no one loves him, and he just thinks that Kreese loves him and cares about him, when that's not how it is. He's manipulating him, but he just can't see that. He's just so clouded by his judgment with, Sam being with Miguel again, and just Daniel so-called betraying him by calling the police, and just how Johnny never shows up for him and is always there for Miguel. So he pretty much gets manipulated, and there's a moment where he's like, how could you, like, Johnny's like, you can't trust him. He doesn't care about you. He's manipulating you, and just Robbie is so out of it. He just doesn't, he keeps saying that, just listen to Sensei Kreese, he's giving you one last chance to join us, and he's just so far gone. So there's a scene where Johnny's beating the crap out of Kreese, and I was just tired of his crap and all the stuff he has done. So they're fighting. He grabs this Sai off the wall, and he's like, and then Robbie's like, don't, because, he didn't want him to kill him, like kill Kreese. So he puts down the Sai and just starts beating the crap out of him again. And then what's really annoying is once he's beating the crap out of him, Robbie pushes him off, and it's like, stop doing this. And he's like, Johnny's like, I don't want to hurt you, because now Robbie's trying to fight him, which he can't, because, Johnny literally has so much experience, more than what Daniel has from Mr. Miyagi. Like, he has years of experience. So, of course, Robbie's not going to beat his dad. I just thought that was funny. So, there's a scene where literally Johnny throws him over to the lockers. Robbie hits his head, just gets knocked out. And then they start fighting again. And right as he's going to check on Robbie after him pushing him, he's like, I didn't want to hurt you. Sorry, Robbie. I hope you forgive me. And he's just knocked down. He's just like, Robbie, are you okay? I didn't mean to do this. And then Kreese looks over at the side, grabs it, and he starts strangling Johnny, and then he throws him, and, he hits him and stuff. And I think, oh, my God, I'm thinking right when he looks at the side, he's going to go stab Johnny while he's trying to, tend Miguel on the ground. But he just, punches him and gets Johnny on the ground, and it looks like I thought he was actually going to stab him and say, I gave you your last chance, and I thought he was going to kill him. Next thing you know, Daniel comes in, and he's like, really, my house, my home? Because, he pretty much sent them to go do what he wanted them to do to Sam and just Miyagi-Do's and Johnny's new Hawk Fangs. He just wanted them, his kids, to go over there and pretty much kill them. No mercy. He pretty much wanted them, they looked like they were going to die, especially Miguel he was going through the ringer. I thought he was going to die or something. He was bleeding. He was beaten bad. So he's just beating the crap out of Kreese. They both knock each other out of the glass of the building. They're outside now in the mall and in the outdoor mall area. And he's doing that maneuver where it's like you make people's it's like this pressure point stuff. That was the stuff he learned from the scroll in Okinawa from Chosen. That was the stuff he learned. So he used it on Kreese, and he was about to literally wreck his crap. But then here comes Miguel and Sam saying, don't do this or whatever, just don't do it. And he's like, oh, we know how this is going to end or whatever. He's like, I'm not just going to let Cobra Kai end. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep fighting. And he said he's like, no. And then Johnny and Daniel are like, no, Cobra Kai is done with. We're not doing this anymore. And there's a scene where he's like, okay, well, how about this? If you guys beat me in the All Valley tournament, or the Cobra Kai, then we'll stop Cobra Kai entirely. And he said, if you guys beat us, then you guys will, then we'll pack up Cobra Kai and we won't be a thing anymore. And then pretty much they had an agreement to it. And right as they were telling the backstory of Kreese on how he was actually a nice kid at one point, but got bullied a lot. I guess his mom killed herself, I guess, Kreese's mom in the past, and this was around Vietnam. And then he goes to Vietnam, and he fights for his country, but there's just a lot of stuff going on where, I guess, in Vietnam, if you got captured, they made you fight your fellow soldier. So there was this big fight sequence where I guess they had to fight to the death to survive, and the people that were captured had to fight, and there was a pit that had a whole bunch of snakes in it, and he's fighting his fellow command officer or his captain, and it looks like he's about to lose, but he does no mercy, and he kills his captain, even though jets fly over, and pretty much it's the end of the war in Vietnam. But he lets everybody else go, but he says, okay, it's over. We don't have to fight to the death anymore. Help me up. But in Kreese's head, he's like, no, that's ridiculous that you would even do this to me, even if we got captured, and he just kills him. So the fact of this is that Kreese is just a crazy person. Literally, man, he went from a nice person to being just, I don't know if it's PTSD, I don't know, or I don't know if it's just pure hatred, because, I don't know, I mean, I feel bad for him. I feel like, he was such a nice person, and then he just was taught by bad things, and just not him serving his country, but the fact that he was being manipulated by a captain that literally was just pure hatred, and I feel like that's all still in his head. So I'm wondering how that's all gonna go into the next season, if he'll just find his way back to being that nice person. But he's far gone, is what I can see. Man's just insane at this point, with so much hatred and so much hatred that he has in himself. I'm just hoping he can find his way back to balance. But all I know is that we see that moment where, where he lets everybody out, but the person he is, he doesn't want fighting the captain. He takes his place, and the person that he takes place of, so that the kid won't have to fight the captain in when they all got captured, is Mr. Silver. We see in Cobra and Karate Kid 3, and Mr. Silver said he even owed Kreese for saving his life, which he meant by saving his life from having to fight the captain to the death. So that's why he helped Kreese and Karate Kid 3 try to defeat Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san, because, making Cobra Kai not, the top karate place in the valley anymore in Karate Kid 3. So this was pretty, he said to Kreese in the last episode, when he let everybody free because they pretty much won the war, that or I guess there was backup. He said that, any place, anytime, I'm in debt to you. You saved my life for me having to fight the captain to the death, because he knew, because Kreese knew and the captain knew that if that one scrawny guy was going to fight the captain, that the captain would win. So that's why he took his place. So he said, I'm in debt to you, and I guess that's like an overall debt. Like he'll do anything for Kreese. So Mr. Silver is confirmed to come back in Cobra Kai Season 4, which I'm super excited to see. So there's so much stuff being built here. I'm just so happy. The biggest things I'm happy from the season is that Miguel is able to walk. Miguel is as strong as he was before. He found his way to being the best fighter ever, and I'm happy that he found his way to work things out with Sam, because I was rooting for them. I love their relationship that they have together, and I'm just overall so happy that Hawk found his way back to being a binary brother with Dimitri. So I'm just happy overall. This series was phenomenal. There's just so many great things out of this season that I probably miss about talking about, but those are the biggest things I could think of, that this season was phenomenal. It was literally a perfect bow of this season. And they're going to make another string, and then they're going to, in Season 4, and then they're going to make another crossover with Season 5, then they're going to make another bow with Season 6, because this is probably going to go on and on this season. There's just so many elements they could bring in from the past Karate Kid movies to, really please the older fans of the trilogy to, this, that, it's like they're bringing newer fans in, like as myself. And, so many other people have talked about this season. This is literally the best TV show ever. Like, live-action TV show, it's better than anything. I love this show so much. Like, I'm a big fan of karate and martial arts in general, because I was a big fan of, like, Ninja Turtles, Three Ninjas, Power Rangers back when I was a kid. So just seeing all this, I always wanted to learn how to do karate and see all this, and seeing the passion and the love that you see in all, like, in the characters, and just see overall just different character developments and character storylines going through, and how they carry over from the past trilogy, and how they continue with the new trilogy that with the new like reboot that they have. It's like not really a reboot, it's like just a continuation. It's just seeing all this play out is just phenomenal. I just can't wait to see more in this world. And I just can't wait. I just hope the show goes on forever. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Was this your favorite season? What did you love about this season? And just overall, what does this show mean to you? It means everything to me. It makes me want to be a better person. It makes me want to keep fighting. It makes me want to keep fighting for my goals, to be the biggest platform on YouTube, and to follow my dreams, and to become an actor and become a model. It makes me want to be a better person, and to achieve more and more, and just be greater. So just let me know what it means to you. What does the show mean to you? What's your favorite scene, or what's your favorite season? If this met to your expectation, and just overall, I had a great time with me watching the show and me reviewing this for you guys. So if you're new to the channel, again, subscribe to my channel, put on those notifications, leave a comment down below, and leave a like on this video, because it really helps me with the channel, and it lets me know what you guys like on my channel. And just overall, I'm just so happy with the support I've been getting in the comments, with the 72 subscribers I have now. I'm just super happy that I'm following my dreams, and I would love for you guys to join my family. So yeah, that was my review on Cobra Kai Season 3. I can't wait to do this for Season 4, and all the other things coming that I know will probably be coming with Cobra Kai. And just overall, I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.